What a tough week. I mean, you're divorced, your wife's dating somebody else, your ex-wife, and then you got 33 points scored on you in the fourth quarter. It's just
You know what?
rough.
You know what? What's funny, Matt? I had a conversation with my wife at my ex-wife at a soccer game this weekend. We would have been married. We were married 10 years in September. She's going back to where we honeymooned for her sister's wedding this week, and I was like, "Look at you go!" A lot of people go back to where they honeymooned on their 10-year anniversary. You're just bringing a new dude. What a cool thing! What a cool thing for you! Isn't that cool?
10-year anniversary. Speaking of 10-year anniversaries, this is the Working Perspectives Podcast presents Guess the News. I'm Matt Lavelle. He's Bern Podcasty. He's Liam Reese. And we're going to bring you some news stories. We're going to give you the bare bones of these stories. And we're going to ask you to guess certain things about these stories. It's so much fun. It's the funnest game on the internet. So fun that you won't know where to put your pants. All right, kicking it off tonight is the man, the myth, the ledge, the creator of the ASL, the one and only Liam Leshmize Reese. Liam, take it away, Daddy Ho!
All right, boys, we're doing Guess the News. This time, we're going to a little place called Sam's Club. You know what Sam's Club is, right? It's one of those places that it's like Costco, it's like BJ's, they have the bulk items and everything. We've got a classic whodunit, all right? We got a person goes into Sam's Club, okay? They show their membership, they go in, they start shopping, and it's about 9:30 in the morning, so it's your first one of the day, so it's sizable usually. And this person urinates all over a bunch of items at Sam's Club. Okay? And here's what I'm going to tell you. This person urinated on stuff enough to cause $10,000 worth of damages. Okay? So here's what I want you to know. They urinate, cause $10K worth of damages. They collect their items. They check out, leave the store, then eventually the authorities catch up because if you're a member, they know who you are, they have your address and everything. So what I need from you guys, you have the information. I've given you the crucial info. I need the A, I need the S, I need the L. All right? But I also want to know, what is it at Sam's Club, Costco, whatever, that you need to whiz on, one whiz, that causes $10K worth of damage? That's your bonus.
Wow. I mean, Liam,
you guys have any questions? Do you have any questions?
I just want to say, for all those listening that aren't returning viewers, when we say ASL, we're looking for the age, the sex, and location. So for our new listeners, we want to find out the age of the person, the sex of the person, the location, and, the items that they pissed on for the bonus. Liam, I'm assuming this is taking place in the continental United States.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Sam's Club. Sorry, that's
I was a guess. I don't think it's an international thing.
What state, region, whatever,
Right. Bern, right away, it's a dude. It's 100% a dude. When I think of what could be 10K worth of damage, right? Like at Sam's Club, I know what
they have electronics.
Electronics. I was thinking that, or like car parts. But I don't know what car parts could be damaged by piss. Right? Like, if you piss on a carburetor, like, we're just going to hose this off. You know what I mean?
Right. You think they'd be, if they're resilient enough to be in an engine, they can probably stand a little piss on them.
Yeah.
Electronics.
Definitely electronics. And they got, like, I know at the one by me, they're selling tablets, they're selling laptops, they're selling phones. You know what I mean?
Also, Liam said one piss. So it's not like someone who's just walking around like, you know what I mean? Just a sprinkle here, a sprinkle there. This is a single.
You know what, too?
Single piss, but it's a 9 a.m. piss.
So it's a
So
big piss. It's a big piss.
It's early doors. It's the first of the day. It's your
Uh-huh.
It's
best
100% a dude because a woman
loaded
is
chamber.
yeah. Next thing to burn. Also, the item it could not be electronics because like flooring, right? They have like a ton of flooring stuff, or you know what I mean, like different kind of home makeover. But I'm definitely thinking it's electronics, TVs maybe. Maybe it's a TV. You
Yeah,
know.
I can't find like I'm thinking about because I was a member of Sam's Club as well, and
Oh,
like
my
and
brother once bought a pool table from Sam's Club. FYI.
you can get anything you want, whatever you need, you can get
You
it
could
at
probably
Sam's
get a
Club.
human there.
Um, like even if you went to like the meat section, right, and just decided you're going to piss over all of the meats in Sam's Club,
Yeah,
I
it isn't
still don't.
10K.
I still don't. That still doesn't hit 10K. You know what I mean?
No, not
Plus,
even close.
there's a lot of frozen stuff. Like that's a big thing
I'll
there.
tell you guys this: you're not gonna believe what it is.
Okay.
Wow.
It's
right.
almost
Furniture.
it's unbelievable that it equals 10K. That's what I'll give you
Wow.
that.
Man, I'm
All right.
starting to think now that it's like because they do prescription glasses at mine. You know, I wonder if it's drugs. Do you think maybe they
Pharmacy.
Because dude, you know, if it's a dude, you got the hose, you can spray that.
That's
sucker.
what I mean. You can get over the counter
A
on that.
little
All right.
distance over the counter. I mean,
Maddie-
depending that we'd have to list him as younger then, because if your prostate's anything like mine, you're not shooting it over a counter, bitch.
So
Okay?
right. So here's what I think we're going. So I agree with you on. I think we're duding it. I think we're definitely duding this one. To do that kind of damage, I think you need a hose.
Oh yeah, you gotta have a hose.
Age wise, I think you're probably right. I would say 30s or 40s at the absolute oldest. I don't think this is a 20-year-old.
Let's do 35 to 45 age
35
range.
to 45. I love 35 to 45. I think that's good. Maddie,
you know where my first thought. Come on, it's Florida.
It's Florida.
It's Florida.
Florida.
Why do we even get it's Florida or go fucking take a lap and pound your mom? All right, it's Florida. Or fucking what we doing? Come on.
Based on the information we have, Florida is the right pick to make here.
It's always Florida, Daddy.
But the item is what is
Newport
really
menthol
interesting.
Is it tobacco? Little tobacco?
The item is just insane. You guys, I'm sorry, but you're not gonna get it.
Okay.
Now I'm starting to think it's lobster. It pissed in the lobster tank.
Did you buy guns at Sam's Club?
Oh,
Buy what?
Man.
You buy
Florida,
guns or ammunition at Sam's Club?
What about fireworks?
The one
maybe in certain states.
Maybe
you know what, Bern? I'm guessing it's the lobster tank. Because then it's the tank itself and the lobster.
And the lobsters? Oh, so all the lobsters in the tank. Does Sam's Club have a lobster tank? Does your Sam's Club have a lobster tank?
Fucking
I've never been. I'm gonna say this. I've never been inside of a Sam's Club ever before in my entire life.
I know that in the Costco by me, if you want the like certain fruits and salads and stuff, you have to go into a walk-in fridge that they let you walk into to get it.
Ooh.
Man. So we could be looking at like they could be pissing on this thing and it damaged the thing that's holding it, you know?
And the cleanup and the sterilization and like the whole like biohazard shit.
And then now you got to get training on what to do when someone pisses on the lobsters. It's a thing.
You know, Maddie, I don't think Sam's Club has lobsters, but I like the guess of lobster tank. Liam has already told us we're not going to get this. And I like this. My favorite part of this is not necessarily being right, but enjoying the stories that we weave. It's not about the destination; it's about the journey. Let's go lobster tank.
Let's go lobster tank. So, okay, to finalize what we're doing here, we have age 35 to 45. It is 1,000% a dude. This would be my lock of the week. Lock of the week, 100% a dude. Location, everyone's favorite location. Not Burns' whole honeymoon, but we're talking Florida. Bern, where was your honeymoon?
Riviera Maya in Mexico.
Oh my God!
Nice.
That's where I got married. What resort?
Excellence, I believe. We stayed at the Excellence Resort.
Yeah, we stayed at Moon Palace when we went. Well, that was the last couple times we stayed at Moon Palace. You know, high-end place.
Yeah,
I live in the high-income area. You know that old thing. Guys, come on. What are we doing
Moon
here?
Palace.
That was, yeah.
Been to Mexico once.
Yeah. I've been a few times. Took my kid a couple times. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, guys? Come on. Either way, so we're saying Florida, not Riviera Maya, and then we started with electronics, but we moved to Lobster Tank, and that's gonna be our special item. So
It's a better
Lashmoosh,
story. Lobster
let's
Tank's
give
a
it
better
to
story.
you. Yeah, Lobster Tank makes me feel better about humanity. But Lashmoosh, going to you, Daddy. What do you got?
All right, guys. Patrick Francis Mitchell, 70, of
Woo!
Lake County, Florida. So you
There we
guys were
go.
right on the money for Lake County, Florida. Was accused of urinating on 188 cans of Vienna sausage and 345 cans of Spam.
Wow and
What?
wow.
I mean,
Causing
that's 10K's worth of
$10,000 in
wieners.
damage.
Shoo!
And now remember, you're talking. It's always the big cans of everything, you know.
Right,
So it's
right,
not.
right.
It's not 345 cans of the Spam you see in the supermarket aisle. We're talking big boy cans of Spam.
You know what it sounds like here? Vienna sausages and Spam. They're on a pallet. They're
Yeah.
probably
It's
on
total
the
pallet.
same.
It's all pallet.
This is
Correct.
canned meats on the same pallet, and he
Yep.
just whizzed this pallet.
And that's what they.
You
You're
know they
right.
have
That's
like
what
an
they
aisle.
said.
It's like the same aisle, the aisle that has like all similar items. He's
Yep.
going down the canned meat aisle. It's Vienna sausages. It's Spam. It's bacon, whatever. I don't fucking know. But yeah, you're how many cans of Vienna sausages?
188.
What the fuck? What? Why? There's no way. I don't care how big it is. There's no way they're selling 188 cans of Vienna sausage in Florida. I mean, who's
Or
this
anywhere.
manager?
Who is even bought? Dude, Florida
You know what, though?
is a hellscape, dude.
But
Who
no,
is
this is what it
buying
is. This is
massive
what it
cans
is.
of that stuff?
Non-perishable
Guys,
meats are way more valuable in Florida than anywhere else because you never know when a war is going to break out on your block. Like
Yeah.
tomorrow could be anything.
Guys, I figured it out. You said this guy was 70, right? 70
Yeah.
years old. That means that his grandfather or his father fought in World War II against the Nazis, right?
Mhm.
And he sees these Vienna sausages and he thinks, oh, what? You want to give us the fucking Kaiser sausage here? You think you're going to sell the Kaiser sausage in America? My fucking dad fought those fucking Nazis and you're selling the Kaiser sausage? And he pissed all over for America. This guy's an American. This guy's an American.
You know, Maddie, a connection to that too is guess what most of our troops deployed to the Pacific were eating in World War II?
Tell me, Daddy.
Spam, son.
Damn right.
Spam. That pallet brought back so many memories for him.
Guy,
he was
triggered.
He was so offended by seeing what our troops ate and what their troops ate together on the same pallet. He was like, nope, not in my Walmart.
Nope.
These two should never. Spam is that's a righteous canned meat. All right. That's what the boys over in the South Pacific were eating. The Vienna sausages.
The heroes ate.
That was fueling the Kaiser.
No
way. Not
together. Have you guys ever
watch.
eaten Vienna sausages? I've never eaten them in my life. It looks like something I would never want to eat under any circumstance.
To be fair, I've never had Spam either.
I have had Spam.
I have had Spam.
I'll have to admit, I have had Spam. But Vienna sausages, like,
no.
Who is that for, dude?
Never sunk that low. I've never been that down bad. I've been down bad, but I've never been
down pretty bad.
Wow.
All right. Well, damn, that was a great way to start off.
It was a banger.
This guy, he thinks it was Uncle Sam's Club and found out it was, they're fighting with the Kaiser. But either way.
Uncle Sam's Club.
We're moving on, moving up. It's time for your boy, old Uncle Matty, to hit you with a story. Fellas, I'll tell you the only thing I can do about location on this is I can tell you it's international. International. Okay, here we go. Here's my story. I'm looking for the classic ASL, and also, you're going to tell me an animal. Bub.
Okay.
Love it.
All right, here we go. Classic ASL and an animal. In a bizarre accident, a car full of people crashed into an animal and resulted in the death of one person. They say, hold on, what was the exact? Oh, fuck on me. They say, okay, so the exact words were that it is believed that the animal's reaction did the most damage. So,
Mm.
in a bizarre accident, a car full of people crashed. It was 4 people total. A car full of people crashed into an animal and resulted in the death of one person. So for the person that died, can you give me the ASL? And can you give me the animal? And then they said that most of the damage and like the death was caused by the reaction of the animal.
The
So there you
All right,
go.
reaction
so
of
we're
the
looking for the person who died. The
Right.
ASL of the person who died.
Yep.
Okay.
And you're saying they hit the animal, then the
Yep.
animal reacted, and that's
In
how
a
the person
way that caused
passed
the
away.
damage.
Yep.
Okay.
And international. So, all right.
International, Daddy-O.
Okay. Okay.
Car full of people.
Um,
International.
hmm. um, I don't know why, but the first thing that hit me was a moose. I'm thinking I
A
was like,
moose?
maybe I'm back in Canada. I'm thinking a big animal that got like, well, I don't know. Liam, let me ask you this: does the animal have
Like
to get into the
massive though.
car?
I think the initial impact is like,
Would have done the damage, right? So, are we thinking that the animal somehow then made it into the car, and that was the reaction that killed the
I
person in the car?
I was leaning towards like the car hits maybe something like an elephant in India, and then because
The
elephants
elephant
will try
just.
to, yeah, they'll try to trample stuff, like stomp it out. And if the
Oh.
car's small enough and there's people in there, yeah, you know how they do those tiny little like bike cars and stuff
Uh
out in
huh.
like
Uh huh.
Asia? Yeah, just stomp that, and like a elephant could absolutely stomp one of those out.
So I don't know
I'm
why I'm
thinking,
leaning this way, but I think
yeah,
whenever I hear someone being killed by an animal, I always assume it's a dude.
yeah,
I
yeah,
always assume dude. I don't know
which doesn't
why,
really, yeah,
but we don't really have any info
eh,
there. So
yeah,
do we
so
coin
yeah,
flip it and go chick just to like see if we can flip up kind of our
yeah,
statistics a little bit,
yeah,
or
just because it's always a dude, so like
maybe
maybe
we
we
just go
catch one.
right? That's what I'm thinking. Like it's a 50-50. Maybe
Yeah,
we catch one. Maybe we'll go. You want to go female? You want to go female on
yeah,
this?
yeah,
Let's go female. Um, I really like your India and elephant deal there.
yeah.
I
Or like
really like
Asia,
that.
I know they have
Or
like
like,
bigger, yeah. But
or
India,
like,
you know, they have like the crowded streets and stuff, and you
which is
know,
not in
they.
town. I don't think this happens in town.
Well, sorry,
You know,
sorry. Yeah, I guess you're right. Like, but they don't really do like safety inspections on the cars, and you
no,
know,
everything I've ever seen is just people flying by on like tiny little cars and motorcycles
yeah,
through like
yeah,
bazaars where people are selling
yeah.
jewelry and chickens. It seems like a. It seems like a. I mean, we're generalizing a lot, but that's. I don't know. I've never been. Maddie, you've been to India, right? You've been everywhere else. Maddie, can you tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
Indian bazaars? I assume you've been there a couple times.
I will say this that my wife lived there for 3 months and my sister lived there for 2 months, but she lived in Nepal for a year. And
This
two
fucking
months of
guy.
that year she was in India. So
Of course, yeah. You see, Liam, I knew. We knew Matt has some fucking Indian connection. All right.
Yeah.
Age is tough because we don't really have much of from the story to indicate
So I
like
just say 40, because it's just
shoot
a
the middle. I feel like we're shooting the middle
random.
on this
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go 40. And I mean, are we going to come up with something better than an elephant in India?
I'm, I'm
I don't
just
think I
guessing. I
am.
don't know. Yeah. I don't know what else to guess. Because it's got to be something big enough to crush a car or do damage to a car after it gets hit.
After the impact.
Yeah.
The impact isn't what does it. It's the
Yep.
response of the animal.
Yeah.
All right, Maddie. Yeah, I think we're going to go with a 40-year-old chick in India and the animal's an elephant. Liam, does that sound good to you?
Yep. Sound good
all
to me.
right, so 40-year-old chick, India, an elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fellas, I'll tell you, you sniffed it. You sniffed it good. Here we go.
Ah.
Zimbabwean opposition lawmaker and poet Desire Moya, 45, lost his life in a bizarre accident in the early morning hours of October 10th, reported by the BBC. As Desiree Moya and four others drove along the Beloya Guerre Highway, they crashed into an elephant. The other occupants of the
Okay.
Nice.
car were injured. One of them said the elephant was struck in the ass, after which it turned around and started fighting the car. It is believed that the elephant's reaction did the most damage and led to Moya's death.
All
And
right.
where was
So we
this?
were
Wait,
You
you
guys
said
were
what
so.
highway?
Zimbabwe, so we were in Africa, not
Zimbabwe.
It was
India.
Okay.
it was in Zimbabwe. Yeah. So it's in
But I was right on
Zimbabwe.
the elephant. Like it had to be
You
hit
were
by
so
something,
right on
then
the elephant.
react.
Yep.
Booyah.
Crushed the
We
elephant. He was 45 too.
we said
So you're
40,
really
close
close.
enough.
Yeah, so you're so
We're
Yeah.
close on the
wheelhouse
age.
there.
Yeah, you got it on the age. And then yeah, it was a dude though. It was a dude,
It was a
and but
dude.
you nailed
Uh-huh.
elephant. I mean, you crushed. You absolutely read it like a book. So shout out, guys. I mean, yeah, even though
I
I
feel
knew
good
two
about
people
that
that
one.
lived in India, it was in Africa, which shockingly I've
You've only
never.
been to once. Yeah, you've only been to
Well,
once.
hold
Were you in
on. Where's
Morocco?
Turkey? I've
Were you
been to
no
Turkey.
Turkey's in
I've been to
Europe?
Turkey.
Were you in Morocco?
I wasn't in Morocco. I did date a
You just
Moroccan.
missed. Well, there
Remember?
you go.
You
Close.
remember the Moroccan I dated?
Well, yeah. Do we have a nickname that we can give on the show? Do we
You can
have a
just call
nickname
her
for the
whoever.
Moroccan?
You can say her real name because fuck her.
All right. Well, I'm not doxing anybody,
I won't
but
say fuck her, but her name
you
was
did.
Ariella, and she was a
12. She was a 12 out of 10. She's 12.
yeah, buddy.
I'm guessing she probably still is a 12 out of
She
10.
probably still's a rocket. Half Moroccan, half Israeli, olive
Yeah.
skin, black hair, big old back porch, sweet old
Yeah.
moon balloons.
Yeah.
She was
No
a dime,
Kool-Aids.
top of the
No
line,
Kool-Aids. No
cute
Kool-Aids
face and waist,
whatsoever.
and a big old back porch. So yeah, either way, crushed it, fellas. Good stuff. That was story number 2. We're coming in hot. We're hitting heavy. Like what we're doing. But Benoit Payud Kisse, Benoit Payud. It's up to you, Daddy.
Guys, I have a little story for you guys about a squatter in a crawl space. Squatter in a crawl space. Now, what I'm going to need from you guys is the usual, the ASL. The squatter who was eventually arrested for, living somewhere they weren't supposed to live, was eventually charged with a felony based on a drug substance found on the person. So my bonus will be, what drug was this person charged with a felony for? It's an ASL. It's a drug. Those are your questions. A couple details about the story. Residents of an area discovered someone living in a crawl space for an unknown but clearly extended amount of time. The photos of this crawl space show that the person had set up a bed, multiple TVs, an Xbox, fans, and 2 separate charging stations. So this person not only found a home in a crawl space, but really made it
their own.
Really made it their own. Guys, this took place in a city that houses an NBA Western Conference team in the Northwest Division. Those teams are the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Portland Trailblazers, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Denver Nuggets, and the Utah Jazz. So one of those cities is what we're looking for here as far as the location. And I am willing to answer questions if they're appropriate and you have them.
Gotta tell you, I like Portland for the cities. Because we're talking about squatters, I just think of, like hipsters in Portland.
Yeah.
Railing meth and sleeping in, where they shouldn't be.
Man. Dude. I mean, okay. Man.
Any questions, guys? Any questions? Now, we don't know how long this person was there, but based on what the police found when they found this person, it was clear that they had set up shop for a considerable amount of time.
In a crawl space.
Dude,
In a
I don't
crawl
know.
space.
Sometimes I feel like it's Oklahoma. I don't know. I feel like it's either Portland or Oklahoma City. Could be Denver too. Fuck. Because there's a lot of like. Because think about it like this. If it's Denver, this is my thought, right? Denver, they have it's like the ski community. So maybe they were in a ski lodge. Somehow they got power on in the ski lodge. They were able to crash in this crawl space. So maybe they weren't noticed by cameras that they had in the ski lodge. Right, like that's where
Gentlemen,
my head's going with this.
I'll give you
But-
one more clue. This was in a condo community.
Ooh,
A
okay.
condo community.
Crawl space of a condo?
Yes.
Huh. So now.
All right. So I'm gonna say this: they had an Xbox, right?
Mhm.
That means they're a little younger. We're looking
Yeah.
at. We're looking at maybe 25 to 35, right?
I like that. Yeah, with
Okay.
the Xbox, you can't go much higher than that.
Also, it's definitely a dude because they had like a porn station set up and they needed
Yeah.
something with it.
Multiple
Def-
televisions.
Definitely
Multiple
a dude.
televisions.
Definitely a dude. Yeah.
Oh, if
Definitely.
we're doing So, by the way, the drug is definitely meth.
Oh, it's without a doubt, it's meth. Without a
Yeah.
doubt. If you're whacked up on H, you could give a shit about a TV and you need the meth because you're up all night doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
dude, this guy was probably incredible at Call of Duty. Right? Like he's
Yeah.
Dude, I remember
Just
one time.
shimmying around.
I remember one time I was playing. At one point I would play a lot of Call of Duty, and this was back like the first Nazi zombie one. When it was on like the Xbox 360 or something, right? Like really old, maybe not 360, but it was like a really old Xbox, and it was the Nazi zombies. The first one where like the first level was the theater, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I remember I did a bunch of E one night, and then I got up to like level 22, and every time like I passed it, I was like taking pictures and texting it to a lesbian friend of mine, being like, "You cannot imagine how fucking amazing I'm doing right now." And it's because I was just so locked in, Had a lot of eyes were open. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Quick reflexes. So
Clear eyes, full hearts, Maddie.
clear eyes, full hearts. Tim Riggins, Daddy. Tim fucking Riggins. I was rigged up. That's for
You were
sure.
rigged.
Daddy was
You were
rigged up. Dude, I would love. Dude, Riggins. I mean, if you could swap lives with a fucking TV character, what are we doing here? It's fucking Riggins. It's fucking Riggins.
At
maybe
least
you
the
wouldn't go
early
to.
part. I have a feeling Riggins as a 43-year-old isn't that fun, but Riggins as a 17.
But he's coaching high school ball. He's banging all the divorced moms, right? They're like, "Oh, I used to have such a crush on you in high
Probably
school,
still
Tim
living in the
Riggins."
same house, though. You know what I mean? He's got
Well,
no
he's- hey,
401k.
Dude,
Uh-huh.
well, actually, you know what? Being that he's an ex-con, because he did go to jail for his
He
brother, he
did,
wouldn't be
for his
able to get
brother,
a
for
job at a
Billy.
school, right?
Nope.
You know?
Billy
but
Riggins is still there
maybe he
breaking
got
his
hooked up
balls.
with Lila Garrett. Maybe him and Lila Garrity finally popped out a couple puppies.
No,
you know?
Lila Garrity's married to a venture capitalist in fucking Houston.
I'm just saying, she marries
She's
Riggins.
long gone.
She
No,
gets
she's long
knocked up
gone.
by Riggies. Then
Nah.
she goes back, and he's taking over Buddy O'Shea Chevrolet, right? And like
Best
Riggies,
best case
O'Shea.
scenario. That's best case scenario. Lila Riggins better deals.
Buddy
hit
Garrity
me.
Chevrolet,
Yeah.
Riggins.
Lila's out of there. Lila better deals him the second she gets a sniff of the big city, which is like, San Antonio at that point.
San
So
Antonio.
back to this story.
Yeah. Yeah,
So you
'cause I
guys
don't have
require-
any idea what you guys are talking about.
You've
Okay,
never
so you
seen
guys,
Friday Night Lights?
No.
it's
Oh,
exceptional.
great show. Great show.
So you guys,
But-
right now, you guys seem to have, what I've heard so far, you guys have 25 to 35 male and meth.
yeah.
You need to lock down the location.
I mean,
I'm-
it's Denver or Portland, right?
Yeah. But if it's in a condo, no, I still say I'm going Portland. Fuck it.
If you feel
Portland-
strongly about
I
Portland,
was right about the elephant, so I'm gonna
You were
keep.
so right about it.
I'm
Well,
gonna
hon,
keep
Can I ask
Keep
this too?
following
Can
it.
I ask this? Just one thing. Can I ask this? Right. So Denver's a city. Portland's a city. Oklahoma City is a city. Minnesota's a state. Utah's a state. Right.
Minneapolis is where Minnesota plays, and maybe I'm giving myself away here, but I have no fucking idea where the Utah Jazz play. What
It
city
was
they're
Salt
in.
Lake City.
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, I would guess, but I didn't bother doing the research. So you guys could probably throw that one out.
Salt Lake City.
I don't think you were sniffing Salt Lake City on this one anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead
Well,
and
that's
tell
the
you.
other thing. I was thinking
it ain't
Oklahoma City's full of a lot of fucking whiskey tangs because I'm pulling a card and I'm telling you right now, it's a fucking white one. You know what I mean? Pulling out that card, daddy. So if it's white, it's Portland, Minnesota, or Oklahoma City. I mean, technically, or Denver. It could be any one of these cities.
Yeah, it doesn't
You
really
know?
help. It doesn't really help much narrow it
No.
down. None of these cities are Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like it's not really
Yeah.
moving the needle.
Yeah, it's not Miami.
You're right.
Okay. So your thoughts, Lishmush. You want to go Portland?
Yeah, I want to go.
Okay.
25 to 35, male, Portland, meth. Lock it in.
Lock it in. That's it. 25 to 35, male, Portlandia. And, well, do they do a lot of meth in Portland?
You're goddamn right they do. Are you kidding me?
I think they do a lot of meth everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, I don't
when
think
you're
there's
doing it, you're
anywhere
doing a lot of it,
untouched.
Daddy. When you do it, you do it. You know? You know? Liam,
All
I
right,
mean, we
guys.
can cut this, but did you ever go down the meth train?
Yeah, I've done it, but it was never my favorite. You know,
I'm more of a slow down than a speed up myself.
me
you
too.
know,
Same.
Me too.
I've been-
Always have been. But
I've done fast, but I wasn't a fan of faster. If you know what I mean.
and anytime I did do that stuff, yet there had to be like backup available.
Something to get
for it.
get you back
Yeah,
down.
you got to even it back out. If you don't,
Yeah.
you're playing a very dangerous game. You're gonna be, you're not gonna be having a good time. That's all there is to it.
Buddy. Dude, the worst too, I mean, also the come down on that shit.
Yeah, that's why you need
Enough to
dope
kill
or
you.
Xannies or something. You
Yeah.
need something to slow you down, because if not,
Yeah.
then
Eventually you need
Yeah,
to
you
sleep.
need to- you
and
need-
when
you need
those
to hope your
birds
dick will
start
work
chirping,
again.
it's like when you're there, everything's over. You're by yourself. 5 a.m. Birds
the
are
birds,
chirping.
the birds are chirping.
The birds
Dude,
are
your
chirping,
jaws-
and
your
your
jaw hurts
dreams
'cause you've
are
been
just
grinding your
flying out the
teeth.
window.
Yeah.
I mean, all your hopes and dreams are flying out the window
gone.
at a
The
million
birds-
miles per
The
hour.
birds are just
This
picking them
one.
off and taking them
Yes.
with them. They're building
Yes.
nests with them. That's
The
what
birds
they
are
do.
taking them and shitting them out because that's
Yes.
what they are. Your hopes
Yep.
and dreams are bird shit at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not wrong. Hey, that's meth, daddy. But okay. Burn. Give us the answers there, sexy pants.
Guys, I'm going to do you a favor right here. I want to do you a favor.
Okay.
I'm going to donate 5 years on this story to you because this story is about Benjamin. Let me get the name right. I'm sorry, I'm old. Benjamin Bukor,
Mhm.
40
Oh, shit,
years
there goes
old.
my white card.
Yeah, your white card's out, but I'm going to donate 5 years to you as on your 35-year-old bet to give you guys the first ever perfect guess in the history of Guess the
Ooh.
News. Benjamin McCord, 40, found his way to an in-between storage space in a site near Happy Valley, roughly 15 miles outside of Portland, and brought in lights, furniture, TVs, and even an Xbox to create his own tucked-in home, according to the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office. The disturbing discovery was made Wednesday by sheriff's deputies who responded to a late-night call from the condos in which a resident reported seeing a strange man park his car and meander behind one of the buildings. The caller said they noticed the door to the crawl space was left open and that there was a light coming from inside, which should have been possible as the actual condo itself was vacant and there should have been no power going there. Deputies wound up having to force their way into the crawl space and found Bakur inside, surrounded by furnishings he allegedly stole over time, including a bed, televisions, chargers, other electronics, sapping power from a nearby home. Other items visible in the photos taken were an Xbox controller, an electric fan, and a worn camping chair. Officials say Bokar had taken significant steps to improve the conditions inside the homing crawl space and was obviously living well inside. He was charged with burglary in the first degree until later unlawful possession of methamphetamine after police confiscated a pipe with white residue and tested the residence. Burke was forced to swap his crawl space for a cell inside the Clackamas County Jail, where he's being held for $75,000 bond. One of the neighbors said, I mean, minus the meth, this is actually a pretty smart way to get off the street. That shit would have been $12,000 a month. Otherwise, pretty ingenious. Or $1,200 a month, pretty ingenious. Guys, you nailed Portland. You nailed the dude. You nailed meth. You said 25 to 35. I actually think that Xbox should have suggested older, since we're all in our 40s and we like Xbox.
Yeah.
The 18-year-olds aren't buying Xboxes anymore. They're all buying PlayStations. Xbox
Yeah, because isn't Xbox not making another one
They're
now?
not. They have no plans for another console.
What?
We are the last generation of Xboxers.
They're waving the white flag.
I'm going to donate 5 years to you guys and say that was a perfect.
Wow.
Guess the news. Guess. Congratulations, fellas.
Hey, how about it for us, huh, guys?
The rich get richer and the poor stay poor.
Love it. All right, well, speaking of riching getting riching and pouring getting poorer, there's been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast presents Guess the News. I'm Matt Lavelle, he's Burn Pockasy, he's Liam Reese. And in case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content and all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. Join us on Twitter and TikTok at Working P Pod. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe. We'll keep bringing you this sweet, sweet content. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you on the flipping. Thanks. See ya.